Today we're catching some sun and waves with Nikki, a QHS member whose life is as vibrant and refreshing as a seaside breeze. What currents brought her to the sunny shores of the quantum shift? Let's surf behind the scenes to see the waves she's been riding.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nikki. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So I am the third child out of four. I grew up on a farm in Indiana. My parents had animals when we were really young, pigs and cows, and then it transitioned more to a crop farm. But grew up going to 4-H. Grew up in the church. Past kind of growing up, I first moved, away from home in Indiana when I went to college. Post college, I've kind of moved kind of throughout the country a little bit. I moved to Wisconsin initially, lived there for about 3 years in a very small town there while I worked in manufacturing. From there, I've moved to a smaller town in Pennsylvania, lived there for about 5 years. And then I moved to Arkansas, lived in Northwest Arkansas, the Bentonville, Arkansas area for 2 years. And then finally I made my way back to Indiana, where I've lived now for 5 years. So kind of my life a little bit post college has really been about work. I moved all of those locations for work. The first 3 moves in my career were with one company, switched to another company. I'm an engineer by schooling, have worked kind of my entire career in the food and beverage industry, specifically the dairy industry. Currently work for a very, very large company working on building new manufacturing facilities for them. So I manage design and build projects for them. So that's a little bit of my background. I mean, to be fair, my life has been very, very career focused for the last 20 years. It's been awesome to move back to Indiana, where I'm closer to family. Most of my immediate family is within 2 hours of a drive, which has been really great to be able to spend time with my nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters and my parents. How I found QHS, about two years ago, I think one of my sisters was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And I had started following some other channels in Telegram that talked a lot about med beds, and I was constantly in those channels looking like, when are med beds going to be available? Really just looking for my sister. Like, she's been in and out of remission multiple times, and each time coming back out, the diagnosis would continue to not be as great. So in the midst of searching one of those channels, somebody made a comment about a frequency healing device that was a nonprofit. And after seeing that, to Google I went, searching, and eventually found QHS. I almost joined immediately, and my intent was, let me check this out before I start sharing about it. But then there was so much talk about the V9 and all the wonderful things that it was going to do, that I was like, you can't keep this to yourself, to try just yourself. So that's when I've talked to a lot of people in my family, and kind of through my family and friends, throughout all of us, there's 15 of us who have joined QHS, and we are all so excited to get the V9, to be a part of this journey. I've always felt like I can go back to how I felt when I was younger, that there was more, I don't want to say more to life, but more to spirituality than what is shared through the church or just through things. There has to always been this connection with earth and with frequencies. And it's funny, I can think back there's this one sentence that I learned in college that has stuck with me now for 20 years. I was in this physical chemistry class, and the first day the professor said, there's no such thing as an atom. Everything's a frequency wave. And I remember thinking, what class is this? Like, this is so weird. But since that day, I've always remembered him saying that. And it's funny now when I look back, like, why did you always remember that one sentence? And it feels very full circle that frequency is everything, and is everywhere. And now we're on the way for it to be mainstream healing. And I'm very excited to be a part of that journey. So, as I look at QHS, I again, just very excited to be a part of it. For myself and my family, obviously we're all looking at healing. There's, for myself, like ailments, like boys had bad ankles. They hurt constantly. Excited to be able to walk without the ankles hurting. Excited to be able to heal acid reflux or get rid of like PVCs that I've started to have. Probably outside of the ankles hurting, like during COVID, when I got COVID, I probably lost like 40% of my hair. I've always had thick and curly hair, and it is just thin and stringy. And so the thought that this V9 can bring me back my hair makes me very, very excited. I know that a little superficial, but looking forward to that and all the healing that I can bring. For outside of the V9, like all the programs that QHS offers and post kind of RV, I would love to be able to participate in the projects. Whether that's helping like through project management, that's a job I am currently holding in my current career, but I've only been doing large scale projects for 2 years, and I love it. So at this moment, I would tell you that's where I would love to continue to help, is on the project management side of things. I enjoy seeing problems and kind of being a problem solver to help get those items fixed and see solutions all the way through, whether that's a small issue or, building a building. Throughout my career, I've even though I went to schooling for engineering, I will say everything I've learned, I feel like is post-college. And so given that, this adventure with QHS, I feel like my ability to learn so many more new things will come along with that. And I feel like I'm a lifetime learner. I always love to take the situations that I'm in and continue to learn and gain experience. And, sometimes you learn, I'm not going to do that again. Just, you have to fail to succeed. And I can give so many examples of that. But that's what makes us all better. So excited to be a part of QHS and the growth that it has for the future and the impact to humanity that we're going to see.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.